Hey there, Disney friends. We are back at Epcot today for the 2025 International Food and Wine Festival. Let's go. The festival will be running from August 28th through November 22nd of this year. As you enter the park, don't forget to grab your festival passport. This will not only show you the different foods and booths that they have available, but as well as all of the activities and musical events. So we are going to start our journey over at Festival Favorites. This is the potato pierogi and kielbasa. I am so excited to try this. We had this last year. I absolutely loved it. And then I have my phone up here because I wanted to make sure I said it right. We also got the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company Kentucky Pumpkin Barrel Ale. So I guess we'll start with this right now. I am a huge pumpkin fan. I'm very excited about this. Ooh. So some of the pumpkins can be on the more sweeter side. Sometimes it's really pumpkin forward and it ends up taking away that beer flavor. This is definitely a subtle pumpkin, but it has that kind of autumnal feel with like some cinnamon, nutmeg, and that just tight pumpkin at the end. That is delicious. Now let's go ahead and get into the pierogi. So I'm gonna get a little bite of the kielbasa and the pierogi in there. Again, it's a potato pierogi and it has some sauerkraut on top. Get a little of everything there. The kielbasa is cooked perfectly. Adds a little salty texture to the really creamy potato pierogi. Very classic, very simple, so delicious. So Bob actually just took a sip of this pumpkin beer. He brought up a really good point. This is actually tasting more like an Oktoberfest kind of style than a true like pumpkin. So if you think of like say a Harpoon or a Shipyard, I think some of those are a little bit more pumpkin forward, whereas opposed to a true Oktoberfest that has a little bit more of that kind of ale taste to it. So super delicious, highly recommend. All right, so we ducked into the BREW-ing lab, but before I actually get in line for the BREW-ing lab, I actually got some stuff over from the Guardians of the Gyoza, which is apparently I was trying to rename that. That is 100% Gyozas of the Galaxy, not Galaxies of the Guardians of the Gyoza or whatever it was that I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and correct myself right there. As soon as I stopped the video, Bob was like, that's a new name. Oops. I picked up the buffalo style gyoza, so let's go ahead and see. These are the buffalo style dumplings. And of course, there's gonna be a lot of extra noise. That's fine. So, I am not a huge buffalo or a huge spice person, so let's see how this goes. I got a little bit of the extra sauce on the side.
I think our guests are going to expect more than this from us.
That has really good flavor. Little kick at the end, but it's not actually all that hot. To be honest with you, that has a nice little heat to it, but it is not too overpowering. If you're kind of new to buffalo or to spicy food, that would actually be a great way to start. All right, now we actually grabbed stuff from the BREW-ing lab. This is always one of my absolute favorites. As a huge Muppet fan, I love this overlay. I just think it's fantastic. So we grabbed the Korean barbecue wings. I'm very excited to try these. They have had some fantastic reviews so far. And we grabbed the beer flight. So the beer flight is the Crooked Can Brewing Company Raspberry Blanc Wheat Beer. Then we have the BrewDog 95 Tropical Session IPA and the Boulevard Brewing Company Space Camper Juice Nova Super Stellar IPA. So let's go ahead and start with the wings, because why not? Also, can we talk about this size? This is a lot of wings. This is very exciting. All right, let's get right into it. Ooh, those pack some heat. Those are really good. The crisp on the wing is fantastic. That skin is so crispy. The meat is actually quite tender. That outside is very, very tasty, but if you are spice averse, this does have a little bit of a bite. This is actually borderline too hot for me. This is really, really good though. All right. Let's check out the beer flight. So we have the Crooked Can Brewing Company Raspberry Blanc Wheat Beer. Ooh, that is so refreshing. A little on the sweeter side, but that is delicious. I actually, for someone who is a little bit on the beaker is interrupting me. All right, this is fantastic. It does have that raspberry aftertaste to it, but it's not overpowering like a cider would be or anything. So it is on the sweeter side, but that is really, really delicious. I would highly recommend that. I am new. If you have watched any of my other videos, I am not an IPA fan, and I don't know what happened in the last year, but I am a changed woman, and now I actually thoroughly enjoy IPAs. So let's see how they stack up. This is the BrewDog 95 Tropical Session IPA. Cheers. You are gonna love that. Oh, that is not super hoppy. That is just a very classic, very crisp IPA. That is incredible. So far, that's my number one. Let's see how it goes up against the Space Camper Juice. Here we go. Woo. That has like a fruity aftertaste. So it's like a standard IPA, but it has a really fruity aftertaste. This actually feels sweeter to me than the raspberry does. Super interesting. I would never have thought in a million years that was an IPA. Number two is my favorite. So while we're here, before we head out to our next stop, we are going to go ahead and just get into the reason for the season, and that's cheese. Just one word, cheese. Emil's Fromage Montage is my favorite thing in the entire festival and in any of the festivals all year round. That is where you go ahead and pick one of the five, well, actually there's multiple, but you're gonna go ahead and pick 5 of their incredible cheese dishes. And every time you do, you get a stamp, and as you go along and you get your stamps, you can collect your prize at the end. Everything on this is so delicious, so amazing, and if you are a cheese lover like myself, this is the reason for the season. All right, we are going to take a break from eating because one of the other incredible parts of any of the festivals are the scavenger hunts. So they usually have a seasonal one that goes around and then one that is festival exclusive that will be there the entire time of the festival. So this one is going to keep you around the front part, World Celebration. This is Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. So in this one, you are going to go around and you're going to find all of the different pumpkins that are designed like different characters and go ahead and put your sticker once you've found them in the proper location and then take them back to the proper places so you can claim your prize. For this one, they have an absolutely adorable little cornhole. This one, they're going to give you a bento box as your prize. This is Remy's Ratatouille Hide and Squeak. Now this one is going to take you around World Showcase. There are some in the front of the park, and so just make sure that you're taking a peek at where you need to look for them. But this is going to be much more festival booth and around World Showcase. So here you're going to go ahead and try to find Remy hiding around the parks. Once you put those stickers on, you can go ahead and receive that prize. This is not only fun just for kids, but adults alike. It's just a fun way to be able to go around World Showcase as a family or individually and just take something else other than the delicious food in for the season. All right, we're hitting our first stop of the Fromage Montage. So we got our first little stamp right there. That is over in Hawaii with the pineapple cheesecake, literally shaped like a pineapple. How cute is that? Has macadamia nuts on it and a mango curd. I am so excited. I am a huge cheesecake fan. Oh, that is to die for. That is so creamy. The macadamia nuts add that little crunch with that. Oh, perfection. All right, we're going to be taking a brief pause momentarily because we actually have a behind the scenes tour that we need to take with Living with the Land. But there was one more bite we needed to take, and that was over. Whew, that is delicious. That is, what is that from?
Braised short rib with polenta and something else.
That is the braised short rib with polenta over at Earth Eats. That meat is so tender. That flavor is fantastic. Who doesn't love a good polenta? That is absolutely amazing. All right, we went over to the Milled and Mulled, and Bob got the churro sundae. Was it a flavor? Was it in like apple churro?
Apple.
Apple churro. Oh yeah, you can see the literal chunks of apple. How is it?
It's very good.
How are the churros themselves?
Okay. It's good with that. It's not,
Are they holding up?
I would say the same as, yeah.
I, on the other hand, went over to Bramblewood Bites and got the spiced apple old-fashioned inspired cocktail. So this is made with Boyd and Blair rum. Well, let's go ahead. Cheers. That is the perfect fall drink. So I will say, if you are thinking more old-fashioned, I usually think that is being a little stronger. Sometimes it's on the sweeter side, but usually you can really feel that alcohol pop through. This is definitely more on the sweeter side, but that is a fantastic, very, very smooth kind of cinnamon, nutmeg forward in conjunction with that apple. Beautiful drink.
And as always, you don't want to miss out on the festival exclusive merchandise. So let's go ahead and head on into Creations and see what's new for 2025. And we're back. Different day, but same incredible festival. So now we made our way over to Forest and Field for the pumpkin mascarpone ravioli. This is made with pomegranate seeds with a hazelnut praline. And let me tell you, this is the absolute best fall savory dish that you could ask for. It is so creamy, so delicious, and the extra little zing from the pomegranate is not to be missed.
I also forgot to point out that this is stop number 2 for the Fromage Montage. It is another stamp we got in our passport, getting us one step closer to all that cheesy goodness.
We then made our way over into Canada so that we could try the filet with mashed potatoes and mushrooms.
Thing here, so let's get some of the beef, some of the potato, and I want some of these mushrooms. I love mushrooms. The seasoning, just some light salt, light pepper, but it actually is still quite tender. And having the mushrooms on top with that really adds an extra earthy texture. For a mashed quantity filet, that's actually really good. This is the third costume change because yes, 3 days now we have made it to the festival because my biggest thing was I wanted to show you as many incredible options as they have. So we just got out of Swirled Showcase to try the liquid nitrogen frozen and pumpkin cheesecake mousse. This is made with Philadelphia cream cheese as well as candied pecans and a maple caramel sauce. Now last year this was part of the Fromage Montage. This year they have so many amazing treats. It is not, but the way they prepare this is so much fun, and I just absolutely loved it last year, and you had me at pumpkin, so let's see how this one compares. Oh my gosh, that is like having, that's almost like a sweet potato pumpkin flavor to it, with the maple sauce on top and that little bit of crunch with the candied pecans. That is better than a standard cheesecake. That is so smooth, so creamy. It literally tastes like a sweet potato casserole. All right, we made our way over to China so that we could try the chicken dumplings. So look like they have a sauce on top of them. Bob just took a bite. He said it was really good. It was not spicy. I normally, right behind us, love their dumplings, so I'm very, very excited. Don't mind me as I'm trying to rip this here because apparently I needed a knife to dig in, so I'm not taking the biggest bite known to man. All right, here we go. Very similar to their dumpling year-round. The sauce is just like a standard kind of duck sauce on it. I will confirm that, make sure that I put that right here if I was totally wrong. A little crisp on the outside of the dumpling. The inside is perfect. Some people don't like all the extra vegetables and other stuff that can go inside dumplings. This is pretty much just standard chicken. This is really, really good. So I just double checked. That is in fact a house-made sweet and spicy sauce that is on that. It is fantastic. It is just the right amount to not overpower the dumpling. Phenomenal. Okay, 2 more down on the fromage montage. We only need 1 more to be able to collect our prize. These 2 I am so excited about. This was one of my favorites from last year. This is over in Germany. This is the Schinkendulen, which is basically a ham and cheese noodle casserole. It is so fantastic. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a lasagna, except with noodles and ham and cheese. Oh my gosh. So, so good. I can't wait. Actually, while I'm right here, I'm just going to go ahead and take that bite because I already know this is incredible. So pull that apart. Oh yeah, it lives up. It's definitely on the saltier side because you've got the salt from the cheese and you have the salt from the ham. But that extra little crisp of the toast on the top of that cheese is just to die for. And there's some onion in here as well, just to kind of offset some of that taste. That is fantastic. And then, new at least to me this year, is this. This was over at the Alps. This is the warm raclette Swiss cheese. You can get that just plain, or you can get that with ham. I chose to get with ham. It actually comes with some little potatoes there as well. The way that they make this though was so fantastic. So they actually have a huge block of cheese and they actually have it under a heat lamp going at all times. And as soon as they see that top layer start to bubble, they literally scrape it off to be able to put on the top there for you. So as you can see, it comes with a baguette that's already kind of pre-cut, but look at all that cheesy goodness. That was literally cut right in front of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with just some cheese. Actually, let's get the whole thing in there. The cheese is phenomenal. The ham is actually pretty cold. I don't know that I would get the ham again because the cheese and the bread is so good in and of itself. I don't necessarily know that I would actually need that again, but the cheese is top notch and the baguette is perfect. As our token beer taster here, so we also got the beer flight from Germany. That's starting off with the Schaffenhofer Berry Lime Hefeweizen. How is that?
It's different. It's really, I don't know, it tastes like beer.
Doesn't taste like a beer, yeah.
It's like a cider.
I imagine being berry lime, that would have more of a cider feel to it.
It's better than I expected it to be.
Nice.
I usually like that style.
All right, the next one, wow, I am so sorry for how I'm, the Weinstophauptner Fest beer. That's a good one. With a fest beer, is that more like an Oktoberfest type of flavor to it, or is it lighter? It looks lighter.
It's lighter.
Yeah.
Sure how to do this.
Oh, this one is the October. This is the Von Trapp Brewing Oktoberfest Marzen style lager. Have you had any of these before today? Nice.
Maybe the one track. I haven't checked yet. Some Marzen.
All right, this is another Marzen. This was actually back over from the Alps. Again, gonna just 100% butcher this. The Steigl Brewery Goldbrau Austrian Marzen Lager. That's from Austria. I had a sip of that before. I thought that was actually fantastic. I thought it was kind of light and crisp, much more than some of the darker Marzens that I've had. So that's a really solid 4 beers right there. I'm excited to dive into the flight myself. While we're taking a moment to indulge in all of this beer and cheese, which is just the reason for the season, I thought this would also be a really good time to mention the other amazing part that is exclusive to this festival, which is the Eat to the Beat Festival presented by Florida Blue. Now, this is a nightly event that happens at 5:30, 6:45, and 8 p.m. There's live music featuring a blend of chart-topping musicians that I'm sure you've heard of. For me, this is a huge throwback to some that I have not heard in so long, like Smash Mouth this year. I grew up loving them. So it's super exciting to get some well-known names, as well as they actually feature a lot of Orlando's local talent, which is also really, really nice. So I would highly encourage you to check out. Again, that's 5:30, 6:45, and 8 p.m. each evening. That is in the American Pavilion And if you are concerned about seating, yes, you have regular seating. You do not have to pay any additional cost for. However, you are going to want to get into that at least a half hour, if not more, depending on how popular the concert is. If you are concerned about that and you want to make sure that you get something even more guaranteed, there is preferential seating with the Eat to the Beat concert series dining packages. Now, in select locations, you can go ahead and book a reservation that will guarantee that you will have a dining package in your prepared meal. At the time that you leave, they will give you your ticket, and then you go ahead and you get into a separate line, which is the preferred seating, and they'll let you in ahead of time so that you are guaranteed a spot in that concert. Another thing that I want to point out here between the Germany and the Italy pavilion is this adorable little train track and whole little town they have set up. It's always so adorable to see the little kids running around and staring at this as they are passing through. But it's also just fun to stop. I don't know, it brings somehow like some childhood nostalgia, which I absolutely love. But I'm going to go ahead. This is up all year round. But take a look at this. Look at that. They actually have little food and wine festival flags. So not only are we celebrating today, but it looks like they are too. That is so cute. All right, so I'm waiting for Bob here in Italy so he can get his tortellini. I'm going to be honest, I cannot wait to try this because growing up Italian and having some of the best Italian food that I feel like I could ever imagine, I feel like I hold the bar pretty high. And normally, if I'm going to be completely honest, Italy is the pavilion I always tend to skip because I feel like I have it all the time. So why wouldn't I try it for different things and new things? So I can't wait to actually try this because he is really excited about this, and a good vodka sauce. Can't get any better than that. I also think it's a good thing to point out too, we have not personally done this yet because we've been able to just use our magic bands, kind of walk our way through. But if you are someone who really wants to try to stick onto a very strict budget, or you want to just kind of keep track of exactly how much money that you are spending at the Food and Wine Festival, they do actually have these little pre-made gift cards where you can actually go to the shop, you can go ahead and tell them exactly how much you want on that, and then just like using a magic band, you can just scan that throughout the different festival carts. Okay, he is back.
Cheese, pepperoni, and like that sounds amazing.
He is back, and decisions have been made, and we have 3 things now on the table. What else did we get here? All right, so he also got the blood orange margarita. That looks really good. It's actually, and it's all frozen. Ooh, that just tastes like an orange slushie. You literally can't even taste alcohol in that. That is wicked dangerous. He also got the bachetti, or kisses, di pizza, traditional Napoli street food. It's a pizza dough, pepperoni, mozzarella, and tomato sauce. All right, I'm gonna let you dive into this bad boy.
Sorry about this.
I feel like you just need to bite it. Like, just grab the whole thing and take a bite.
The sauce is kind of like on the side. Actually, I might need the extra sauce. Ooh. That's good street food.
Good street pizza. All right, how's the tortellini? It's a 4 cheese. It's a 4 cheese with a vodka sauce. That vodka sauce is actually really, really good. Sometimes it's almost a little too heavy on the tomato. That is very creamy. A perfect standard 4 cheese tortellini. That is really good. And as you will see me in line to any cheese, if there is a good beer flight, you will find my husband. So here we have made our way over to the Flavors of America so that he can try the new beer flight from here. All right, beer flight has been acquired. So this is the Playa Linda Brewing Company Pumpkin Cheesecake Blonde Stout. So I just took a sip of this one. Yes, this is way too sweet for my personal taste. I think the aftertaste, like I love where they were trying to go with that, but you do almost get a cheesecake aftertaste with it that for some reason, in my opinion, just doesn't quite pair well with a beer. It is not, it does have almost a bit of a sour taste to it. While not being like a true sour, it is like it tried to be too sweet, intermixing with the fact that it is still a beer. All right, we're going over to the Von Trapp Brewing Nature Helles Lager. I'm probably butchering all these. I am sorry, Von Trapp.
I really don't like. Now I do.
I know, right? I have not tried that one. How's that?
It's good. It's not my go-to style beer, but it's
Lagers are not normally your thing. Let's see. Actually, for a lager, though, that's actually, it's more favoring like an IPA kind of taste. It almost feels like a little hoppier than a standard lager. I actually am not a huge lager person myself, but that one's actually quite good. And finally, we move over to the Harpoon Brewery Flannel Friday Hoppy Amber Ale. Just looking at that, that looks incredibly dark. So, I mean, it's an amber ale, so it's supposed to, but it almost looks like, yeah, like a red.
yeah, different malt, like red ales that have different flavor profiles of what it has.
That's good.
It should be like that.
That is not my personal preference. All right, go ahead and point there in order of preference, favorite to least favorite. What's your favorite one? Backwards there, 1, 2, 3, nice. So favorite is the amber ale, and then the and then the Helles Lager, and then the stout. Making our way over into Japan, I need to let my tummy digest a little bit because I'm heading towards my personal festival favorite. But I did want to point out a few things that I have seen amazing, amazing reviews for that you should probably not overlook, like myself, if in fact you are a big Japan fan. That is going to be your teriyaki chicken bun, which is a steamed bun filled with minced chicken, vegetables, and a teriyaki sauce, as well as a beef wagyu don, which is a traditional Japanese rice bowl with American wagyu beef, with steamed white rice, homemade pickles, shredded pepper, and a pickled ginger. So I personally need to give my stomach a little bit of a rest. You can't eat it all, even in 3 days, but I just wanted to make sure you didn't overlook some of those incredible options. Okay, we have made it. The 5th stamp on our Fromage Montage, and that is with the reason for the season, the griddled cheese. Now, y'all, the last time that I came in here, everybody was ranting and raving about how good this was, and I got it, and I thought, this actually looks kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. However, it was one of the best things I have ever eaten, and I have been dreaming about it all year. This is a griddled cheese on top of a honey and pistachio, and let me tell you, that combination could not be more delightful. Let's see if it lives up to the year that I've been waiting. Yes, best food of the festival. If you are not getting that, I don't even know what to tell you. It's griddled cheese with honey and pistachio. So a little bit of sweet, a little bit of crunch on top of cheese. If you're a cheese lover, what are you even doing if you're not eating this? All right, we attacked and divide and conquered. So one of the other favorites, we didn't even need it on our Fromage Montage because we already got all 5. But one of our absolute favorites is over in Brazil, which is the pão de queijo, which is a warm, like as in almost can't even hold it right now, so warm, cheesy Brazilian bread. So, fun fact, if you love this as much as we do and you want to come get this at some point at any time throughout the year, they actually have this over at the bread service at the Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom as well, which we found out not that long ago that it is in fact the same. And ironically, we loved it there as much too. So, this is just a cheesy bread. It is so dense, it is so delicious. Served warm. So soft, doesn't even need anything. Well, I was over in Brazil grabbing that. Bob was over in Belgium grabbing the beer flight. That is the Golden Drac Triple Ale, the Dragon Wit Wheat Beer, and the Duchess Cherry Red Ale, all from Brouwerij. I'm not even going to try. We're just going to do the Brouwerij van Steenberg, Brouwerij St. Bernardus, and Brouwerij Verhege.
had that one before. That was really good.
I am so sorry. They don't make this international festival very easy. Which one did you just try? The cherry red?
No,
Oh, the triple?
had that one before. That one I really like. It's not necessarily a style, but
Ooh, actually, that's really smooth. That is delicious.
I've tried this before. It's better.
Accompanying that, he is going in right now for the braised beef with mashed potato. It looks like there's some carrots in there as well. How was that? We got that last year as well, right?
Probably.
And that
It's
is,
good, like a pot roast.
if you love a good pot roast, then this is going to be for you.
Really good.
Let me take a little bite there. Woo! Shaky table. Shaky table. Oh, that is delicious. Those mashed potatoes are so creamy. The sauce on this, and look at that, you don't even need any kind of a knife. That just pulls right apart. I actually like this one better than the steak in Canada as far as like a beef meat dish goes. And those mashed potatoes are incredible. The wit beer. How was that?
It's good. I'm not sure we like that style.
What does that taste like? That almost has like a... At first, it almost has just too much of a straight beer, like almost like it wants to be like a Budweiser, like it's just a straight beer taste. But then at the end, there's something a little bit fruity. Well, that flavor, you know what I mean. But at the end, there's a fruity taste here that I actually really like. I'm very interested about this. This is a cherry red ale.
That is
I worry about this being a little bit on the sweeter
not
side.
my style.
Whoa! Okay, that first of all tastes, that tastes like a sour. That is so cherry forward. Holy moly, that is, I appreciate what it was trying to do, but that is Dimetap. Wow. I am sorry, I am usually try to find the positive. I cannot even have another sip of that. That is not for me.
Good.
Woo! Rounding out the festival, we have made our way over to France so that we could get the beef bourguignon with a purée de pommes de terre, which is a red wine braised short rib with potato puree. This is something that the line usually is so long, we have a hard time getting. We are super excited. It was almost no one in line this year. We hopped right in. How does this compare to what you just ate?
Both very tender, both very good. Just a little different flavor.
Let's take a bite. Oh, that red wine sauce is fantastic. I think I like that meat a little bit better. It's a little bit more tender. That is fantastic. As far as the mashed potatoes go, those are also equally as creamy, but I think I actually favor the ones we just had in Belgium a little bit more, just because they were a little heartier. Now that we have done our 5 stamps, we can come back over to Shimmering Sips to go redeem our prize. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. What is the flavor?
It's a key lime cheesecake.
Key lime cheesecake. Yay, I have another cup. Okay, that's going to do it for us over at the Epcot 2025 International Food and Wine Festival. As far as food goes, there is no better fest, in my opinion, than this one. There are so many good options. It took us multiple days to be able to complete. So starting with pavilions, I think that we have a new winner for the year. I think Italy came in hot. As far as like a festival favorite, or at least some shocking changes, that tortellini and that little kissing pizza was a surprising win over in Italy that I will give all the credit to. Coming in at absolutely no surprise, my personal fest favorite, as always, that griddled cheese in Greece, because it is so good. And it's really just kind of an indescribable, I've never tasted anything like that. You don't get a lot of cheese like that. So, any other like hot surprises or any favorites?
No, it's all good.
There's so many good beef choices, which has Bob's heart. If it's beef, then that's a win for him
Yep.
right there already.
Belgium, France, those are both.
Yeah, Belgium and
good beef
France,
dishes.
they're all so, so good. So, as always, thank you so much for following along. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Comment down below any other videos you would like to see. Thank you for joining us, and as always, keep it magical, friends.